Hey guys, welcome. This is Neena Perez, and this is Straight Talk, no sugar added. I am so glad you're here. You know, this show is created to discuss life topics, to grow, to challenge, and transform your thinking. And so today I have someone here who I had such a pleasure to speak with and getting to know, and I am really glad to introduce her to you. Her name is Lisha Thompson, and she's the founder, and she has a consulting firm. I don't know the name of your consulting firm, Lisha. What's the name of the consulting firm?
Just my name.
Oh, just Lisha
Yep,
Thompson.
Licia
Okay.
Thompson Coaching and Consulting, LLC.
Beautiful. And she's the founder, and it's a faith-based coaching consulting firm, and it's equipped its leaders using her 3C formula that she has developed to reinvent her own life so that she can teach others how to live a less stressed and happier life. And who does not want that, right? She's also the author of When Your Soul Whispers, and that's strategies for leaders to redefine value and move forward after life transitions. And that's really deep. Lisha, that's a really deep topic to get into. So I'm really looking forward for this conversation. I was reading that your book, and I want to get a copy of it. And I'm like, wow, when your soul whispers, like that, just already that is deep. But it's strategies for leaders to redefine values and then move forward after life's transition. So I want to get into what that means for you. So before we get into that, because I know that my listeners love when I ask this question, is who is Lisha Thompson? So can you tell us a little bit more about you? That little
Yes,
simple question.
that's all right. Thanks so much. I'm just honored to be able to participate with you in this dialogue because you're right. We had an amazing conversation initially. But so who am I? I would say that I am a woman who built a career in the work comp industry specific to return to work. The last phase of it was return to work for injured or ill employees coming back who needed medical accommodations. And so I built the national program for Macy's and Bloomingdale's and then led that. After 22 years, I decided to reinvent my life, my career, and I guess that would include a part of my life. And so I really drew from my experience leading teams all those years and interacting with so many employees, but also then the injured workers as well. And I saw some patterns and basically people who had life-changing events that they experienced. When that event ended, though, we're changed sometimes by the magnitude of whatever that event is. So it could be, I'm saying event, maybe a better word would be a phase, not an event, but a phase of life. So it could be divorce, could be caregiving, which I experienced both of those. Empty nesting. I'm an empty nester now. So a lot of times people don't know how to move forward, and it ends up becoming a sense of frustration, which sometimes leads into anger, unfortunately. And people do bring that to work with them, even though I know that that's not their intent, but we're just one person, So sometimes it's hard to separate. But I used all of that, all those experiences to figure out what I wanted to do next, which led me to going to a coaching program, getting certifications to add to what I already knew about leadership. But I wanted to be able to speak and interact with people differently. I don't want to be the person with the answers as a coach. And so those are some skills I have gained from, I worked on that all of 2019. So here I am. I am a leadership reinvention strategist, which simply means that I equip leaders to reinvent so that they can move forward in whatever realm that they have determined is appropriate for that next chapter, basically without fear and a little more clarity and being specific about their values. So I'm a mindset coach is what I would say.
Yeah. And, that's needed right now, right? I mean, we really do need that. So I wanted to dig in a little bit. to kind of like your experience and what you've gone through, because that speaks volumes, right? When you're speaking into someone else's life. And
Yeah.
so you said that you've been, well, you worked at the, doing that kind of strategy for over 20 years, I think you said, right?
Mhm. So
So,
not necessarily that strategy. So it
mhm.
was leadership, but not from a
Oh, okay.
coaching standpoint. So that
Okay.
mine was specific to workers' comp, everything
Okay.
workers' comp, the claims, the investigation, returning people to work, all the policies and the guidelines and all that, statutory regulations, everything that comes
Right.
with that.
All the fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
All the fun stuff. So
Right.
tell me about, like, because you're also taking a more of a personal approach as well, right? Because you said you've been through divorce yourself and you've been through the struggles yourself. What
Hmm.
helped you get through those things? Did you have like a coach in your life and stuff, and that's what made you want to get into coaching, or what happened there?
Yeah, that's a great question. And no, I didn't necessarily even think about I didn't think about
Right,
coaching.
right.
I'm just a person who is. I guess I learned at a young age how to ask questions and find resources
Mhm.
whenever I was trying to learn something, and that's just kind of how I've always rolled. So pretty self-sufficient. And of course, I think I can diagnose everything, which not necessarily is that truth truthful, but that's how I think in my mind. I think I can figure everything out. But being a leader, a manager, and then a director in my career, because I engaged with people every day, all day,
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
exposed me to just a huge variety of different thought processes, different approaches that people take or don't take
Mhm.
to move forward in their lives. And that's became an area. Plus, I'm a person of faith. So I did pray to ask for guidance on what would be next for me when
Mhm.
I realized that it was time for me to move on, to create something different. And I wanted it to be my own business,
Mhm.
which years prior, I would have never said that.
Right.
But over time, it became important to me to step out in faith, do something totally different, but my way of giving back to others, some of the things I learned, and some I'll probably continue to always learn.
Yeah.
So,
How was that for you, transitioning? Because, I work as well, right? I'm a director as well, and sometimes you find it a little difficult to get that transition, to move to your own, having
mhm,
your own business and stuff, and it could be a little scary.
mhm,
Right, because
absolutely.
any entrepreneur knows that it is a little bit nerve-wracking and scary to try to start your own thing.
Yeah.
So you've been doing, Lisha Thompson's, own business for how long?
It'll be 2 years in March.
Okay. Oh,
So,
it's so yeah, so it's like
yeah.
a baby. It's your
Yeah.
baby, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was
Yeah.
that for you? Like,
So
was there
the
something
time,
that happened? Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
leading up to it was just me doing a lot of soul searching and trying to
Mm,
figure out how I could serve others in ways that maybe I had gone through some similarities, but every situation, every person's story is different. But
mhm,
what I do know is that I'm comfortable with working in the gray
mhm.
and figuring it out along the way. And I know that for many people, that's frightening. It used to be
Yeah.
frightening for me, but because of my job, I learned how to work in the gray. I had to.
Mhm, mhm,
So that just carries over into the rest of life, right? And so because I was looking for a way to help other people figure out how to create their next phase, like I felt badly for people who were miserable in
mhm.
personal life or even career, but who felt that they had no options. And
Yeah.
I'm the total opposite. I believe all the options are available.
Right, right,
You choose and customize.
right. That's
But
good.
yeah, but not everyone, believes or sees that. And so that became part of what I just wanted to. I thought motivating people initially, but the more I drilled down, I realized that it's part of my own personal story. Not
Mhm,
that they need to know my story, but just to understand that I can relate because I
mhm.
have been divorced. I worked through that. I had kids, young kids at the time, middle school kids, two daughters at the time, and so I'm still trying to climbed the corporate ladder. I'm a mom. My kids are involved in everything, music, sports, all of that. So I am literally running many days physically. I would park at the school parking lot, lock my car, and run because I was trying to get into their event before they would notice that I wasn't there.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So all the things. It's tough. Yeah.
You know what I love though? I love that you touched on a few things there. One being that you realized that you had gained experience in different areas that you could utilize to impact and help someone else's life, right? I think that what I deal with high performers as well, mainly women, and you know, a lot of times they are feeling stuck. They're feeling like they can't move forward, right? And they don't realize what is in them. They have a lot to offer, lot to offer, right? I love that your brain works in a way that you see the options. But you're absolutely right, Lisha. Like even the women that listen to the show, because I get a lot of DMs and a lot of messaging. I love the people that listen to my show because they're active. You know, they really want to get involved. And one of the things is, you know, I feel stuck or I don't feel like I can move forward. And then when you start to, as a coach, you start to like peel that off, and then they start to see it themselves. It's a beautiful experience, isn't it?
Yeah, I call it magical, actually.
Great word. That's a great word.
To watch someone's facial expression when they start realizing by answering the questions, they start getting their own answers. And that's just amazing.
It's a good feeling.
I remember when I was going through the program, you know, to work towards the certifications, I honestly have to admit that I thought I didn't need a coach, but that I was going to be able to coach others until which is just the most bizarre, idiotic.
Oh, we all do it. I'm with you.
But then, you know, a part of the requirement was that I had to be coached and coach other people, you know, to get the hours. And that's when I started realizing the power of coaching, because for someone who thought that I could figure out everything on my own, I realized I hadn't. There's so much more to it, that you need an objective person to ask questions, to force thought around, you know, how you want to respond to the questions. So that just opened my eyes to even more than what I already knew.
Yeah, I love that, Lisha, because the truth is I love what you're saying, because I think that a lot of people don't think they need a coach. I think like you and me, because I did it too, right? We think we muddle our way through it. Yes, we get through it. But man, it's a struggle. Like if you think about the fact, like I have coaches in my life now too, because I believe that every coach needs a coach. I believe everyone needs a third party. I think you really do need that. And so, and also the same with me, like just struggling with life and struggling. And then I'm like, oh, what's a coach? Oh, get a coach. And then you're like, revelation.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Like, what was I doing all this time? Right. But I'm glad that you said that, because, you know, for the people who are listening, yes, you can do things on your own. Nobody's saying that. What we're saying is that there is a way to do it a little bit simpler and, you
faster.
know, faster, and a third party or somebody outside of your situation can actually pull and draw things out of you that you had no idea that you actually had or were aware of or knew. And that skill set, like what you said, and I think that's so valuable, that your skill sets from the past, all of them can be utilized, you know, the good and the bad, right, Lisha? Like the good and the ugly, right? Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I know that you talked about, I think I read here, the 3C formula. So if you don't mind, I'd like to get into, you know, what that means. What is the 3C formula, and how do you help your clients with that?
Yeah, so I named it the 3C reinvention formula, and comes from cultivate, clarify, and conquer. So cultivate thoughts, clarify, and, you know, thoughts, beliefs, all of that, assumptions, clarify what that means. Are they fact? Are they fiction? Was it truth with the small t, or capital universal truth? A lot of times, you know, how we think we have these thoughts and we believe them, but then the reality, when you articulate it so that someone else can hear, that's when you start realizing, yeah, that made no sense
Right.
whatsoever. I don't know why I was thinking that or
Right.
whatever. Another reason why coaching is phenomenal. But
Yeah.
and so that's where it comes from. Just digging in, clarifying, and then conquering goals, fears, all those things that
That's
may
great.
have held someone back. I want
Mm-hmm.
to just gently push them forward and
Mm-hmm.
deal with all those things that sometimes cloud our view of
So
who we
was
are.
that part of your journey, going through those three C's yourself?
Actually, yes, but I didn't know
Yeah.
it at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty
Right.
awesome, isn't it? So
Yeah.
what kind of what kind of ideas or thoughts or fears did you feel like you had to overcome to now do what it is you do?
To do what I do. Ooh, what a great question. I hadn't even thought about it. So, I think speaking to people, digging in with them into their private areas that
Yeah.
sometimes no one knew about other than themselves, but in a very gentle, caring way, so that they felt comfortable enough
Hmm.
to speak with me and to give me. The deepest thoughts. And
Right.
sometimes they had never articulated them audibly. So that's an area that is sensitive, of course. And of course, I have a vow to confidentiality. But I take it very personally when someone trusts me enough to respond to the questions or to even work with me, to trust that I can get them where they're trying to be. And so for me, it's just a matter of just being showing up 100% focused
Yeah.
on them and not me. So what I
Yeah.
learned is that, again, it goes, a lot of this, as I look back, goes to my faith, and that I learned to pray before I meet with them, so that the dialogue is conducive to whatever it is that they're working
Hmm.
on, and
Hmm.
that I deliver, but
Hmm.
I'm out
Hmm.
here with people in their lives, and I'm saying these are things that I do. So I want to be able to do that every time,
Right.
that I owe them that. They're paying me, they trust me. And so it's important to me to not fail them.
Right.
And so,
Right.
so
Right.
I need to have a clear mind. I can't be, distracted thinking about what I'm cooking for dinner or, any
Hmm.
other distractions. I want to focus on everything they say and what they don't say. One of the great things about
Love that.
coaching someone virtually is that you can look at people sometimes and that there's more than what they're saying, or
Hmm.
that they haven't even, not because they're hiding anything, they
Right.
just don't realize.
Right.
If we were doing this just by phone, I would miss out
Yeah.
on so
Yeah.
much. So even though I launched my business and then 2 weeks later we were told to stay in our homes, and I remember at the time thinking,
On.
I don't even know what I'm doing. I
Right.
literally have just, I know how to coach, but I didn't know the
Right.
business side and the
Right.
systems and all that. So, but then I realized, to my advantage was the fact that I had never really spent a lot of time in my home because I was always at work, and it took me an hour and a half to get home. It only took
Oh
30
wow.
minutes to go to work, but coming home. And then if I would go to the gym after, so I'm really, in my home maybe 2 hours before it's time to go to bed, or so
Right.
this was brand new to me.
Right.
And I just committed to the fact that I could be in my home doing what I want to do, building a business without a lot of distractions, and that I
Mm,
would use that to my advantage, because I refused to come out on the other side of the pandemic the same person who
good for
I
you.
was when I began. So
Mm,
that has just been, for me, just such a huge blessing and opportunity, because
that's
I look
great.
back now, even when I compare 2022 to 2019, 2020, when I launched, I've come a long way. I still have a
Mhm.
long way to go, but it
That's
feels pretty
okay.
good. It feels pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I'm sure it does, because you know what? You started though, Lisha. You started. And that's where a lot of people don't even like accomplish that. They don't even
Yeah.
accomplish the starting point, right?
Hmm.
And I always
Hmm.
tell people, listen, it doesn't matter don't think about like, oh my God, in 20 years from now. Think about today, because what
Yeah,
decision you make right now is going to affect you 20 years from now, because every step
absolutely.
is going to matter.
Builds.
It's like, yeah. It's like I was
Hmm.
talking to a group of young ladies and I told them, I said, you know, because they were like, oh, we don't know. We want to just listen, just improve 1% today. So
Yeah,
whatever you did this morning to this evening, compare, you know, just look at the whole day and say, did I improve from myself yesterday? Because if you do that every day, you'll be improved by 365% by the end of the year.
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
And they were like,
beautiful,
holy
beautiful
crap,
way
I
to
didn't hear about
explain
that.
it. It's
Right.
not
Because
so
yeah,
daunting when you break it
right.
down like that.
Right.
Yeah,
And
it's
when you're not
overwhelming.
comparing, like, I don't need Neena to compare to Lisha.
Right.
I need Lisha to compare to Lisha and Neena to compare to Neena.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's what it is. Right. I always talk about and you know, the saying, I'm sure, is that, you know, that comparison is the thief of all joy. And it's
Hmm.
true, because we really are blessed, and we really wake up every day with grace on our lives. And
Right.
if we don't realize that, because we're comparing, it'll steal the joy that's supposed to be measured for you.
Oh
Right.
my gosh.
So
Yes. You should
yeah.
print that. You need to
Yeah.
print that.
I'm gonna have to watch this again so I can print it, because I don't remember what I said.
It was a great analogy, great
Thank
message.
you. Thank you. But I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you too, I wanted to dig in a little bit into your book, because you wrote a book. So obviously, because you're home now, right? So you have time.
Nina, oh
I'm
my
just
gosh, I have
joking.
to tell you this really quickly. So this is why reinventing to me is the best ever. Not because we're flawed, but because we're better than we think we are.
Right.
And so we sometimes don't know that until we challenge ourselves to learn new things, right? So I have a degree in journalism. I was 12, I think that's sixth grade, maybe seventh, that I wanted to be a writer. So I knew that I was going to college. I knew that it would have something to do with writing. So I selected a university that was known for journalism. I think at the time ranked third in the nation, Ohio University. Got my degree. First job was at TV Guide magazine. I was so pumped about it until I realized that I was the youngest person. So I'm right out of college, a year after I graduated from college, and everyone was kind of maybe mid 40s or so, but we had the same title. And I remember thinking, oh my. I don't know what this means, but
Right.
it doesn't, so that's got me on my journey to what's next. I need to find another job where there's career growth opportunities, but I stopped writing. I did business
Wow.
writing, but
Wow.
nothing creative because my brain was exhausted at the end
Right.
of every workday. So I kept saying, it's okay. I'll get back to it. Then I got married, had kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've carried that in the back of my mind that whenever I was able to slow down, come off that, that
That's
career
so
path,
funny.
that I hope and pray that I can still write. Like, I don't even know, I didn't know.
Mhm.
Am I creative or am I just business? I had no idea. And so I pray about all things, like big
Yeah, me
transitions that
too.
I want to make, ask for guidance. And so I kept saying, is this the time? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Please
Right.
connect me with the right people, so on and so forth. And I just kept getting the same message. I found someone to work with. I joined a group. It's been an amazing journey. And I started writing. I met a wonderful editor. I mean, the list just goes
Wow.
on. I believe that I'll probably remain in touch with them because I'm so impressed by what I learned on my own journey. But it was important to me to write a book, and I want to
That's
write
awesome.
others. But all these years later,
That's
finally.
awesome. Yeah.
So this is it's a fairly quick read. It's like 101 pages. Has room in here to write down some I have questions along the way, and I didn't want to do a separate workbook, and I didn't want people to have that I'll get back to it later, or yes, it's a good question, let me think of it. No, it's right here. All you need
Right.
is a pen. While you're reading, you can do the work.
Right. 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 That's so funny. Oh, that's so awesome. Though, congratulations on that,
Thank
because I
you.
know that that's not a small thing. And I know,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time, it takes dedication, it takes effort, it takes discipline.
Yeah.
because there's
Yeah.
many times when you start writing and you're just like, I don't even know what to write today. So
Right.
I'm really proud of you for that. That's really amazing. And
Thanks.
the
I
book is
appreciate
called
it.
When Your Soul Whispers, right?
Yes.
Strategies for
Strategies.
leaders
Mm-hmm.
to
Read.
redefine values and move
Mm-hmm.
forward after life's transitions,
Yes.
right?
Yes. 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 So in theory, this would be applicable to pretty much any transition, I believe. I wrote it from a perspective, as I said before, about mindset and
Mm-hmm.
how to elevate, be willing to
Yeah.
change your thinking, be more positive, be more intentional, aware, all of those things. But I do also come from a mind, body, soul perspective. So I talk about the benefits of meditation, prayer, and also physical exercise. Physical exercise for people who don't. I try to encourage people to at least take a walk. I mean,
Yeah.
anything to move
Yeah.
your body will increase your ability to think a little more clearly,
Yeah.
and so this is two. So now I have two businesses. This is one,
Right.
from the standpoint of public speaking, podcasts, all these
Right.
things I'm really wanting to pursue even more. But then it was also written so that it will coexist right alongside with the mindset coaching that I do.
That's great. That's
So thank
great.
you.
Yeah,
So for the
that's really,
people
really
that
great.
don't know me, they may want to just read a book, a $20 book. That's not a
Right.
huge investment, although
Right.
there's much more value than $20 in the book.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. There is. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be, life changing for whoever wants to do the work. I mean, just,
that's
I
nice.
think that's one of the kind of the conundrums that we're in this this universe of so much information, right?
Yes,
So it's
yes.
one of the things I always say is that we are inundated with information, but we're starving for wisdom, right?
Mm,
Because there's so much info, so much, but
yes.
we still feel like we need more wisdom. And I think it's because we're putting our hands in too many things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I think, like, if there's a leader out there that's listening and you think that there's some reinvention that you want to do, or there's a transition that you want to get through, I highly recommend that you go ahead and you call Lisha, because it helps. It really does help, guys, when you take the time to work with somebody who has
Hmm.
been there, done that, and it can
Hmm.
help you move forward, right? Even if you're just moving the needle forward a little bit,
Yeah,
move the needle forward.
right.
So Lisha, do you before I'm going to let you go, I want to know, do you by any chance take like consultations and things like
Yes.
that? And if so, okay, great. Give us
Hmm.
all of the
All the
info, like,
information.
yeah, how
Sure.
people can reach you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can be reached. My website is www.licia.thompson.com. On there, you'll find information about my background, the book. I also have started writing some blogs, and so they're also there. But in addition to that, is my sales page for the book, if anyone's interested in that, and other
Right.
offerings that I have in the coaching program that we mentioned, the 3C Reinvention Formula. And I have some other options also that are there. But I'm also on social media, LinkedIn, of course, and then also Facebook and Instagram as well. So
Okay.
I can be reached those that way as well. Did I leave anything out? Email
Is
address.
that by your full name, by just by looking up Lisha Thompson,
Yeah,
right?
so
Yeah.
it is on Facebook. It'll say Licia Thompson, Reinvention Strategist.
Okay.
But yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everything's in my name. And then my email address is Licia@LiciaThompson.com as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for doing the work that you do. And
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
really like super stoked that you decided to step out in faith and do what it is that you felt in your heart called to do, because
Yeah.
it's important. I think especially now, these last 2 years, people are reinventing
Mm.
themselves. Lisha, you are like right in the niche of it. You really
Mm-hmm.
are.
I'm
People are,
excited.
yeah, you should be. It's a good year. It's a good
Yeah.
year, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
year to reinvent your. It really is. I mean, I speak to a lot of high performing, women that really are like at the top of their game in their career, and they are looking to shift,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
reinvention right now is a big thing. So I
Mm-hmm.
wish you a lot of blessings
Thank
and luck
you. Thank
because it's
you.
a beautiful thing. And you're an
Yeah.
amazing energy. You have amazing energy. You're an
Oh,
amazing person. And I'm
you're
really,
so
really
kind.
happy. Oh, it's all true. It's
Well,
all
you
true.
are too. I'm just trying to
Thank
keep up
you.
with you, Neena.
You'll never do that, Lisha. I have energy for days.
I know.
Do you? I do me. All right. Because
Stay in my
everybody
lane.
tells me that. Stay in your lane. I'm going to stay in mine.
Right.
It's like, when I was like really getting into all this, because I do speaking as well and stuff like that, and some faith talks and things like that. And people were always like, one woman said, you're just a little too loud for me. You're just a little. And so because she said that, I was trying to change myself. And then I realized I was hitting no one. I was hitting no one because if maybe I always say, listen, I might not be your cup of tea, but if I am, add a little vodka and stir. That's me.
Right. And it's all good.
It's all good. And then I realized, you know what? If I run my race with me, I'm going to be good.
Right.
As long as God is in the front of my race and I'm running my race with the Lord against myself, I'm good.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
and he's going to guide anyway, right?
He is. He totally does. Although we always take a right when he says left.
That's true.
He gets us back in track.
Right.
Lisa, you are really a blessing to have on my show.
You too.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, I appreciate you so much. Continued success and blessings to you as well, Neena.
Thank
okay.
you. I
Take
appreciate
care.
that. You
All right.
too.
I'll talk to
guys,
you soon.
Yeah, very soon. And hey, guys, don't forget to go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. I'm going to make sure to put all of Lisha's information below so that you can contact her if you are looking to reinvent yourself, to shift the way you see things and shift the way you want to manage or lead anything. So I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to get in contact with her, follow her, support her, read her blog, do all of that stuff, because it is time to really take care of you, right? This is about self-development, about taking care of yourself, about knowing what it is you really want, because you have one life, one opportunity, and one time to do it. So thank you guys. Exactly. Right. So thank you guys for being here and spending time with us. This is Neena Perez. This is Straight Talk, no sugar added. Until next time.
This broadcast is brought to you by Wincheck Studios. We are an all-in-one educational platform for podcasters that revolutionize